This is, oh, there it is.
Oh,
there it is. This is called a symbiotic relationship.
True piggyback ride.
This is where they got the term piggyback ride. I don't know if anybody knows. The pig with the African tortoise, this is where it came from.
It's so cute.
But it's a symbiotic relationship. The pig is lazy and the tortoise is not lazy.
The tortoise is an enabler.
And now they're gonna go indoors to consummate the relationship.
Can I have a pig pedal?
Staff Appreciation Day. That's what I'm talking about. Carrie, come here, you schmuck. Hey, you having an awesome day?
Totally.
This is the best day of your life?
You know it.
He's been scooping mulch for hours now. Has it been fun?
Oh yeah.
Is that like
The
fun?
whole not feeling good either helps.
No sick days here. All right, I'm gonna make something a little easier for you. This is easier in mulch. All you gotta do is hold this for a second.
All right.
You did?
You're good.
All right. I'm gonna be posting this video, obviously, because you're watching this, so the video's already posted or whatever. So, just keep everybody in tune for what's going on. I wanted to post a video pretty much every other day, or every day if I could, and that worked out great because I have plenty of videos that we can post. However, I'm waiting for YouTube to get back with me with my review, and they say that'll take about a month or so. So here's how we're gonna roll this. I don't wanna just abandon you guys. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna post a video once a week. We're gonna do, what's today?
Wednesday.
Today is Wednesday? Is it Wednesday for real? Okay, so every Wednesday, I'm gonna post a video for you guys at some point during the day. So make sure you push that little bell so you get the notification when it comes in, but also you can think Wednesday, he's gonna have a video, we can watch that stuff. I'm also gonna try and post little stories and stuff for you guys. Tyler told me that you can do a kind of like an Instagram story where you guys can keep updated with, you know, small things that we got going on here, and there's still something to comment on, still something to like, still something to see. So I'm gonna try and get that to you every other day while we do the video once a week. Anyway, enjoy the damn video, dudes.
And then you can kind of hang out over there next to her, and she'll come by you. And then, come here. You want some? You want some treats?
We're back here at Smooth Waters Wildlife Park with Mr. Man over here, the Irish Wonder.
Get my name?
No, I couldn't get it out of my mouth, man. All right, so we're here with one of my all-time favorite reptiles on the face of this earth, the water monitor. Now, if we're not, Nate's not 100% sure of the locale of these guys. This is an Asian water monitor through and through. They're both Asian water monitors, but there's different locales that show different patterns, different coloring, and also different size. So, what we have here is the male, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, that's male.
And female up here.
Yeah.
So, monitors are very difficult to sex, and that's a problem that we deal with, especially if you want to get a breeding project together and have these things at a facility or at your house. It becomes difficult as babies to get these things sexed. There are people out there that can do it. I am not one of those people. You would have to pop them when they're small. I'm not comfortable doing that. But when they get a little bit older at this size, the differences become a lot more obvious. You can see he's got a big, huge, blocky head. His body shape is a little different. Now we have this beautiful pear-shaped animal over here with this little dainty, gorgeous little female head. Now,
Say gentle. Gentle.
easy, gentle, genitalia.
Yeah, she's
So-
good like that. Don't do that with him.
They're eating, he's a beast on it. They're eating crocodile diet, just like some of the other stuff around here. They get a varied diet, but this crocodile diet, believe it or not, is awesome Awesome stuff for the water monitors. Also, check it out. It's Missouri croc diet. There's also a polar bear diet that is really, really good for these guys too. You guys can look into that. I know a lot of keepers that I know that feed both, as well as the, a varied diet of rats, maybe a little bit of fish, chicken, things like that. Now, what I want to point out, Chandler, can you get a good view of the enclosure here?
Yeah, you can go all the way back to that corner if you want.
So there's a couple of things that I want to point out. Number one, a lot of people want to breed these things and they don't realize that in captivity it's rather difficult to get these guys to produce for a couple of different reasons. Generally speaking, usually what it is people want to do it indoors. They build these enclosures that are nice, beautiful, but they don't exactly have maybe the space that they need. The animals aren't as comfortable as they need to be to breed. This is probably one of the best water monitor enclosures that I think I've ever seen. It's got everything they need. It's a nice natural pond. There's plenty of places they can hide, and most importantly, there is plenty of space. So these guys can feel comfortable. If one gets into an argument with the other, they can go around. Here you go, buddy. They can go around and go into separate bins. They can hide from each other in this cage. They can get away from each other if they need to. Obviously, it doesn't look like they've been scrapping or anything like that, so I think they're going to do just fine.
No, this pair is so in tune to each other. It's crazy. I couldn't have set that up better. 50% of the time, she's courting him.
She wants it.
Yep. So they get along really well.
That usually works out. Sometimes she doesn't want it, but she wants it. Okay, so for water monitors, like I said, space is a real big thing. And also, a naturalistic, for me at least, in the experience that I have with these guys, especially with all the people that I've hung out with that have produced these things, including Mr. Nathan Sweeting here, the Irish Wonder. The biggest thing that I see, again, is the space. The space plays a big part in it. They need a lot of area to dig to get those eggs down, and they need to feel comfortable. But another thing that I want to point out is, look at these things. Nate, how long have you had these guys?
Shoot, I've had him, I think, for maybe 9 years, and her for only a couple of years now.
So did they come in like this?
This size?
No, this temperament.
No. Her previous owner did a little work with her or whatever, so she was a little mellow.
But this guy.
But not. She wasn't quite acting the way she acts now. But this guy was definitely very, very timid, very skittish. I mean, you touch him, his mouth's wide open. He's trying to get you. So I really had to kind of bridge that gap with him. So you wouldn't be able to do this when I first got him.
So the way we do that is very simple. Nate will put these guys out in the enclosure, and rather than forcing himself on the animals, what he does is he'll come in here, just like you're seeing right now. Chandler looked at me funny when I said forcing himself on the animals. What he'll do is, I'm not food, bro. Not the newts, bro. Not the newts. What are you doing, big guy?
He might try to come up in your lap.
What are you doing, big guy? Come on, you can come up here. I'm friendly, bro.
She'll do it. He was kind of feeling you out, but you see how he's kind of sort of taking a step back now. He came in. He was comfortable with that.
He's unsure. You gonna come back and check me out?
And then he's free to kind of back off or whatever.
So Nate won't force himself on the animal to try and get, it's like this. So if you come in here and you're aggressive towards the animal, you're trying to pick him up all the time, and you just want him to calm down, so you're trying to force him to calm down, it's never going to work. A situation like this, where there's a lot of room, is an awesome situation to get these guys to calm down. Basically what you do is you come in here, you sit on a bucket, you hang out, you play on your phone, you let them come to you on their terms. You don't want it to be on your terms. You're trying to gain the trust of an animal to have them relax around you, to let them know that, hey, we are not here to hurt you, we're here to work together, and you make it a great experience for them, and over time, because it takes time, and consistency is key. If you're not in here every single day spending the amount of time with them that you need to spend, you're not going to get what you see here today. You're going to get a lizard that as soon as you step in, he's going to run, he's going to beat his face up, he's not going to want to be anywhere near you, and then if you try and get near him, he's going to do whatever he can to make sure that he defends himself, because they're unsure, they're scared. So basically what it is, number one thing, like I said, is consistency. You got to come in here every day. They got to see you all the time so that they can associate you with good things rather than being terrified of you. So that's what Nate did. He basically came in here to win over the trust of the animals. A lot of people get these things and they want to put them on a leash and, restrain them. I feel, in my however many years of experience that whenever I want an animal, especially a reptile, to calm down, that any restraint on that animal is a bad thing. It's just like picking a snake up in the wild. Chandler, Nate, we can all go out, we can pick a snake up from the wild and not have it actively trying to kill us, depending on the species. And basically what that is, you're gonna go court your man? And basically what that is basically we're not restraining the animal, we don't hold them, we don't pinch them tight, we don't make them feel like we're in control. We let them do their own thing. So by letting them do their own thing, and then also we're giving treats and stuff like that, now they're learning that we're not here to hurt them. So there's a fine line between trying to, easy mama, there's a fine line between trying to force yourself into the situation and letting the situation happen naturally.
There is one thing that I like to try and throw in too is, you know, especially people on the hobby side of it or in the private sector side, instead of trying to tame everything and domesticate everything, you know, and whatever, like if you learn the social structure of whatever species you're working with, whether it's more, everything has a social structure. So whether it's solitary or it's communal or whatever, there's degrees of the social structure. Right. You know, the lack of one is still a social structure. But if you learn how they communicate and how they show different things like acceptance or affection, then, you know, you can open that door wide up. So, you know, I keep scratching them on the back here a little bit. Nice, gentle little scratch here. That's where they do that with each other. They're trying to show acceptance of each other or affection, their version of affection. You know, they're going to scratch on the back. Now, if I grab the hind leg or I'm holding by the tail or scratching on the tail, that's an area that they usually bite each other in kind of a combat way, like, you know, I'm dominant, or if it's a breeding thing. Well, they'll do it to each other like that. Like if she's really trying to send a message like, I don't want you courting me, like she'll flat out turn around and just bite him in the face. No. You know, or you know, he might not be receptive. So they're going to show different things. So, you know, she's coming over, and if I want to, you know, I can rub her on the head like that, you know, and just say, hey, you know, I'm cool with you being there, and then she'll get comfortable, and she can come over and tell me too. But it's important to listen to what they're saying through their body language also. That'll get you everywhere with them.
That's a huge deal, what he just said. Every animal, obviously, let's say we have 100 water monitors. They're all the same species. They're all water monitors. However, every single one of them has their own personality. So it's not just, hey, you know, this water monitor acted this way, so this is going to work with every water monitor that we have out there. No, what Nate's saying is, like, learn the personality of your animals, because once you learn the personality of your animals, even if they never get to this stage, you'll be able to work around them safely and be able to give them what they need, because at the end of the day, it's really not, if you're doing this, if you want to own these animals, it's really not for you, man. You got to be out there for the animal. So you have to want to give the animal what it needs. And if the animal comes in at this size and he's a raging beast and you can get him to calm down a little bit, but he's still not handleable and he still doesn't really want to be around you, got to let it be what it is. That may just be that animal's personality. Maybe a lot harder to break that behavior. Over time, can it change? Yes, but if it doesn't, you can't get frustrated and then just toss the animal out or get rid of it because it's not to your liking or whatever. If you're choosing to own an animal, especially an Asian water monitor, the largest monitor species in the world, then well, next to the Komodo. We're not counting Komodo dragons. Yeah. Also, the crocodile monitor is longer, but these guys take the cake as far as size and weight. But if you're choosing to own something like this and you want to get rid of it just because it's not puppy dog tame like these guys, then you shouldn't own it at all. The other thing too to that is if you get an animal like this and it's already maybe a sub-adult or something like that, and it comes with some baggage, maybe it's not super trusting at first, and you're not getting anywhere with it, you know, and it's not changing, and you've had it for a while, it's something you're doing, not something the animal's doing. One thing that we make absolutely clear to all the animals here, and make no mistake, training is just communication. Once you figure out a way to communicate, and you're very clear about what you're trying to communicate and define, then it makes it much, much easier between you and the animal. But this is their house, and they know it. So if they don't want us in here, when we got in here, if he came over and he started saying, I don't like this guy, or I don't like the guy with the camera, or I just don't want you in here today, then I would have said, hey, we have to leave. They don't want us here. So we've been asked to leave the party. And if you don't respect that, then
you know, it's the same thing on the hobby side. You know, if they have a smaller enclosure and you got this smaller animal, you know, get it to own its home,
Yeah.
and it's going to be a lot happier that way.
Well, I'm glad you said that too, because I think a lot of people want to force an animal to do something if they're trying to get something accomplished. They'll try and force it and force it and force it. Then it's an uncomfortable situation. You got to make everything you do as rewarding to you, as rewarding to the animal as it is for you.
Well, you know what they call that in the professional world?
Dickbaggery.
Well, that's what we call it. But yeah, if you're trying to force a result, that's falsifying data. So good luck trying to be a scientist or be respected amongst your peers. You can't falsify your results. You can't force the results. If you're not getting the results
This
naturally.
isn't Nom-Smokey. There are rules.
Yeah, it's
You get that reference? You never seen The Big Lebowski?
Oh man, it's been forever, dude.
Yeah. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, one of my favorite animals ever, the Asian water monitor. Look at that beast, dude. In a beautiful enclosure, done right. I think this is what it's all about, man. Mr. Golf Hat, man. Let's see it.
Irish potato farmer hat.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I don't play
What is
golf,
this,
so
proper-
I do grow potatoes.
What's
so
the proper term for the hat? What do they call it?
I forget what they're called.
You don't know
Taxi
what you're-
cab.
No, well,
No.
no.
No, it's all derogatory terminology. I don't know.
There's a name for that
There
hat.
is.
Somebody call it out there.
It's not a beanie.
This is no, it's not a beanie.
No, it's a
Scully cap? No.
because
It's a lifestyle.
whatever. It's a cool hat. I like it. It's
Nate's
my thing.
style.
It's my thing.
All right.
You trying to go in the bucket? Go in the bucket. You want them in there? I know you're interested in the bucket. Go get it.
Bucket. Who's got the
You wanna
bucket?
go in there? You want to go in there? Yeah, but they're super curious about you guys, especially you.
I'm gonna get down one more time here. Try and make out with my girlfriend. Hey, big worm. What are you doing, bud?
Smell it, checking out, seeing what's going on.
What's up, dude? Now,
No, he's just rubbing.
don't be fooled. As good as these animals are, if they wanted to do some damage, they could do some serious damage. Dude,
No
the teeth
joke.
in there are
No
gnarly.
joke.
Their claws are gnarly. It's a large animal, not for a beginner.
Yeah, and this guy, for reference, I don't know if it's gonna play on the video, but he's a little over. He's over 6 feet long, and a nice nice easy bite from this guy. To us is you're gonna need stitches.
Absolutely.
I mean, it is gonna tear you open.
Absolutely.
So, but you know, that's another reason why it's a really good practice to just maintain a good balance, a good relationship, you know, and earn their trust.
Yeah. Don't force your animals to love you.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with forced compliance is that eventually, always, it will
It
blow
will
up in your
break.
face.
Yes, it will.
Technical term. Yeah.
Kaboom. All right,
What are you doing, buddy?
Mr. Nathan Sweeting. Again, Smooth Waters Wildlife Park. You guys can come check them out. You can come and see the monitors in person, man. Come and enjoy them. Love it.